Hello and welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel for a review of A Nashville Christmas Carol. This movie is, of course, a take on A Christmas Carol with some definite modifications that are a nice treat. This is Hallmark channel, so this is one of the ones where they definitely don't mind stretching it and going, we don't have to be trite. We don't always have to be schmaltzy. And so they definitely take extra liberties with A Christmas Carol, and it was kind of appreciated. Now, this fellow on the left, he plays the ghost of Christmas Past, and it's the Brooks guy from Brooks and Dunn. I didn't know that until it was over, and I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, he was a lot taller. And I remember him being much, much taller. Maybe it was the other one that was tall. I don't know, but they towered over me. So anyway, he was rather delightful in this. I guess he has some acting chops. I looked it up, and he does a lot more voice work than he does face work. But he did fine. He was very enjoyable, and he's got most of the screen time. So good for him. All right, so you have this lady on the right who, the story is definitely well trod. She's a workaholic. She has a boyfriend from the olden days, and they split and went their own ways because, of course, you find out in Act 3, it was a miscommunication. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. But, we watch these Hallmark movies because we don't care if it's blah, blah, blah. Just act it well and make our hearts go pitter-patter plump. And this one does. So, it gets good marks for definitely putting some good twist on A Christmas Carol. They don't borrow that much from it, actually. And that's one of the nice twists. And the acting is done really well by almost the whole cast, so that's pretty cool. The supporting cast that works at the Nashville stage, I don't remember I don't think it was the Grand Ole Opry, but anyways, those folks that are doing that, they were tearing it up. Good for them. I hope they get more roles. Okay, now there's a scene where you can tell this movie's from either 2020 or 2019, because 2020 and 2019, instead of being the year of the pandemic on screen, which, again, we're all wondering how they did all this, but they're obsessed with putting a black character with a white character in romance. And it's just, again, that's going to date this period, because it's one of the things I noticed, and I'll point it out in another one, because it's going to be in my next review because it's in so many of the movies. That's what I'm saying. It's 2020 and 2019 is when they started doing it big time. Is they don't mix them with anybody else. They don't mix an American white person with an American Indian person. They don't mix them with an American Indian person. They don't mix them with Asian person. It's always black and white, and it's just so trite and so obvious. That's the killer, is that it's obvious, because when you watch movies from last year and this year, it's like, oh, and here comes the black-white relationship, because you're trying to look inclusive. If you look anything but inclusive, if you were inclusive, you'd mix it up a little, and they don't mix it up a little. Closest thing I seen was there was one at the beginning of the season this year where they did have a Spanish-speaking woman with a non-Spanish-speaking white guy, and that's the closest it got. And, thanks to Lucy Ricardo and Ricky Ricardo, fictional characters, because of them, I don't know if that's actually considered mixed or not anymore, but at least it was an elevation over the, oh, here comes the black-white thing again. And I can only speak for myself, but I would say this. If you're going to want to have more a variety of the characters, have two black characters. Why not? If you look around, I know in LA there is a lot of mixed race people, and it is in the industry. Well, good for them. But you know what? There's this really weird thing, like if you ever see that movie Rabbit Proof Fences, if you keep mixing them, you run out of them. And considering the population of America only has 16% that are called African Americans, to quote Rabbit Proof Fences, you'll breed them out of existence. So if you're all about liking black people, why would you want to breed them out of existence? Just something to think about. If you respect them for who they are, why do you keep trying to erase them? And you are erasing them by mixing them with, just something to think about. But I'd say the more relevant point isn't even the genetics. It's the laziness of the casting director to just go, oh, we've got to be more inclusive. Let's get our token higher. Whether it be the white person or the black person, really doesn't matter. So, yeah. Was this movie worth a watch? As I said before, it's a little above average, thanks to Mr. Brooks. And the Judd lady is in it, and she does okay. But her character is written really well. So whether or not you like her acting or not, kudos to the way that part of the story unfolds. And the ending won't spoil it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the future.